Rottweiler Vlogs, episode 112. Your boys Mizzo Mack out here in Phoenix City, Alabama. You see the skyline, it's a gloomy day, but we still pulled the Rottweilers out. Y'all check out my man Carlton Williams on this episode.
My name is Carlton Williams, and I'm from Columbus, Georgia. Originally moved to Phoenix City, Alabama. This is my beautiful Rottweiler right here named Ozzie Williams, A-Z-A. It means strength and power in Swahili.
Who's this right here?
Pomeranian, her name is Ashton Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, we had her for about maybe, she's 7, she will be 8 in November 31st, she'll be 8. Growing up, I got my first dog when I met my girlfriend, who is my wife now. Her father, he bred Rottweilers in the 90s, but when I met her, he was breeding Crescent Canaries. And I got one of the Crescent Canary puppies. Her name was Jade. I had Jade for maybe 4 or 5 years. 17, 18 when I got her.
Okay, so you fresh out of high school.
Fresh out of high school.
With a big, powerful breed like a Crescent Canary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty ignorant to the breed at that time. Didn't realize how big and strong and powerful she was gonna get, how much she was gonna eat. I ended up having to give her away because my mom, she didn't think that I was putting enough time into the dog itself. So I ended up giving her away to my uncle, and she moved to the country, and she had a lot of land to run around in. So she had a good life after I gave her away. I was kind of hurt, but I knew that I really wasn't really taking care of the dog like I should. So if I wanted her to thrive, I knew I had to let her go. So I gave her away to my uncle. Like I said, he lived in the country, so he had plenty of room for her to run around and just be a dog. 23, 24 when I got my next breed, which was a miniature pinscher. Her name was Ashanti. Beautiful miniature pinscher, like I said. We probably had her maybe 4 or 5 years until she passed. Well, when we got her, we didn't know the exact age we got her because we kind of rescued her from a shelter. So we didn't know the exact age she was. They didn't know the exact age she was, but we had her maybe 4 or 5 years until she passed away. And once she passed away, we was devastated. The kids were devastated. We didn't get another dog until we got Ashton, and that was maybe 6 years until when we got her after Ashanti had passed. We was apartment living, so apartment living. I probably could have had a big dog, but in my mind thinking, no, I'm in an apartment, man. I can't really have a big dog in here. It's not enough room for me and my kids and my wife, so I didn't want to have a big dog. So we stuck with the small house dog breeds until I bought a house. My kids are a little older now. I feel like they can know how to handle themselves around a big dog. So I asked my wife, I said, I want to get a guard dog for the house because I feel like I work a lot and y'all are home by yourself a lot, so I wanted to kind of have a protection for them. So she said, why don't you consider getting a Rottweiler? I said, a Rottweiler? She said, yeah, my dad used to breed them back in the 90s. I was like, I never thought about a Rottweiler. So I started researching. The first thing I researched was the name Rottweiler. I researched that the name came from a country in Germany called Rottweiler. The more in depth I got into the research, I started getting into Facebook groups, like you said. I found a Facebook group called Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama Rehoming Rottweilers page. So I started kind of like seeing people post like dogs available. So I kind of started clicking on those sites, looking at their kennels and their breeds, trying to see what they offer. Contacted Nick White. He was a breeder in Tennessee. I seen that he had beautiful dogs. Dogs that other breeders I was looking at, they didn't even compare to the dogs he had at that time. So I contacted him. He had seven females available. I wanted to get a female first because during my research, found out that the males were a little more rambunctious than females. So the females are a little easier to kind of train, so to speak. So I wanted to get a female first to kind of prepare myself. So I reached out to Nick White. He said he had 7 females. I said, cool. He sent me all 7 pictures of the females. So me and my wife, we just going through the phone looking at 7 different pictures of female Rottweiler puppies until we came across, I think she was like female number 4. I think the thing that caught my attention was, I think her bone, the bone size of her, the size of her paws, and her head size is what kind of caught my eye. And like I said, I didn't know anything about pedigree or nothing like that. I just knew that he had quality dogs, and I knew how I wanted my dog to look. So reached out to him. He was in Tennessee. He said, you know, I got these dogs ready. They're available. You can meet me halfway in Birmingham. So I said, cool. Me and my wife jumped in the car. I think it was Mother's Day weekend. We jumped in the car, went to Birmingham, picked up picked up Aza, and fell in love with her. As soon as I took her out of his hands and held her, fell in love with her. I started to see the traits come out when I was researching her, like as far as like the stubbornness, as far as like the attentiveness of them, and as far as like the how they would protect the family. She's only 6 months old. Anytime she hears a sound, anybody knocking at the door, she's alert. She's on that door, you know, barking or growling or whatever. So I like that, because that made me feel like she's, you know, gonna be a good protector. Around my kids, she's great. My youngest son, he's 5 years old. He plays with her like she's his little sister or something. You know, they play around. They play good together. No aggressiveness. Very good temperament. She has a very good temperament. Her and Ashton, they get along well. Ashton's a little smaller than her right now. So we kind of got to keep them separated, because if she gets too excited, she'll start jumping all on Ashton. And she's nothing but about 12 pounds, so she can't really take all that rough housing that she likes to do. So we kind of keep them separate. But other than that, she's a pretty good dog. The most asked question I get though is, why you didn't cut her tail? So I had to explain the whole thing. Like, look, man, she was imported over here. So I mean, in Germany or any country in Europe, it's illegal to dock the tails over there. So I had to explain that whole thing. A lot of people ask, is she a Doberman? Like, is she a Doberman mixed with a Rottweiler? I'm like, nah, she's just purebred Rottweiler. A lot of people over here not used to Rottweilers with the tail intact.
So you're having to educate.
I'm having to educate, yeah. But other than that, they always say how beautiful she is. They're amazed that she's only 6 months and how big she is already. But she's not even, well, she's 6 months today, yeah, the 15th. So she just turned 6 months today. Yeah, but everywhere I go, I get stopped and asked questions about her, about how beautiful she is and how big she's gonna get, and if I breed, they want to get a puppy from her, you know, stuff like that. I want to get into breeding. That's something I really want to do. Once she gets 2 years, I'll go ahead and get a male. So I mean, I don't know if I want to get a stud male or get my own male and raise him and breed. So I'm kind of still on the fence about that part.
You got time to decide.
Yeah, but I know that I do want to breed though. I do know that. Make sure you research the breed itself, and also do your research on the breeder who you're going to get the dog from. Ask for pictures of the mom. Do FaceTime, do videos, you know, so you know that you're getting what you want. Because a lot of people kind of steal people's pics and put them on, you know. But basically, just a lot of research. Like I said, I researched the breed before I got her. I probably did maybe 4 or 5 months of research before I got her, before I decided that I wanted a Rottweiler. And then leading up to getting her, I had to do maybe another 3 months of researching on the breeder who I wanted to go with. And like I said, I was going with a totally different breeder until I found Nick White. And once I seen his dog, I was sold on him. So yeah, pretty much research, man. That's gonna be your best friend. It's cool being in front of the camera, you know. I was kind of nervous at first, but you know, you walked me through it. How I came across you, I was trying to think. I think I seen. I was friends with Simone at first. I think she posted one of your pictures of Batman. I was like, damn, that's a dope ass Rottweiler, you know. So I started following you and seeing that you was doing Rottweiler vlogs, and I was like, man, that might be cool to do one day. She was probably maybe 3-4 months at that time, so I didn't want to do it too soon because she was still small. I kind of wanted to give her some time. So when you posted, I think you posted an ad, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I contacted you, and
we're here.
And I appreciate you, man, putting on for the breed like this, because, you know, it's nothing else out there like this. You know, this is unique. You know, like, so I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Nice, man. I'm happy to have you on, and I appreciate you being a part of the journey. Thank you. Mizzo, Skylife.
Let's make a play. Ballin' every day. I've been hustling across the country from the Berry to the Bay. Let's make a play. You know these hoes will pay. God damn, my name is buzzing. I'm that nigga in the A. Let's make a play. Ballin' every day. I've been hustling across the country from the Berry to the Bay. Let's make a play. You know these hoes will pay. God damn, my name is buzzing. I'm that nigga in the A. Let's make a play. You ain't what you portray. Been biting.